Hey there, Data Nation. Welcome back. On today's episode, Al and I talk through a series of different keyword planning tools that you can use to optimize your business. The three tools we use are TubeBuddy, Google Trends, and the Google Ads Keyword Planner. So take a look, let us know what you think, and stick around to the end. We've got a new project that we're working on that's going to be a long-term series, and we're pretty excited about it. We'll see you soon. So yeah, I'm excited about today's. Well, we talked about a few things earlier, but I'm excited about kind of just doing a little fun keyword search, like keyword planning. Like we can kind of pick a company or a service or a product or something to just do some research on.
Yeah.
And at the end, we can kind of, I don't know, tease out the plan for this new project, like kind of like the soup to nuts, like, just pretend like it's a brand new business. How would we use data to sort of optimize from everything from like the name of the company to the domain name to the service offering to, you know, and then we'll just, kind of have it evolve over time and people can follow along.
Yeah, I actually got a decent idea for a kind of a high return, low investment, high return product we can do.
Sweet. Okay.
So,
All right. We'll save that for the end. That way
yeah.
people have to listen to all the way through the end. Cool. Um, all right. So like other than that, let's think about maybe one or two, um, whether it's like just like a specific service offering or product that we could just do a little preliminary research around, like just like a mock
Sure.
client kind of scenario. I'll share my screen, which I think I've already got kind of queued up. Yeah. Um, so like to kind of like tee this up, we talked about it a little bit last time, but the idea is there's a bunch of different like keyword planning tools out there that you can use to research, for your SEO strategy, for your
Yeah.
SEM strategy or paid search strategy, or just like general content strategy. I know that I regularly have used like TubeBuddy for YouTube channel content. But it's also, I mean, YouTube is the second largest search engine next to Google.
Yeah.
When you think about like,
Oh, I didn't know that.
yeah, when you think about like the volume of
Neat.
searches, there's probably a lot of crossover, maybe more like how-to stuff in YouTube than Google itself, but there's a lot of crossover. So I think it's still like a good relevant place to go. And TubeBuddy, I've found, and I just have like a base plan for it. I found it to be like really cool at just kind of exploring different keyword topic ideas. Um, Another tool that I use pretty regularly is Google Trends, which will kind of expound on and give you like general search volume for a variety of different terms. And you can even like narrow it down to like within specific regions or subcategories. And then, on the not just the Google ad side, but also the SEO side, we use the keyword planner in here to get forecasts, competition levels, costs, estimated clicks, all sorts of things using this. And there's a couple different methods you can use with the keyword planner,
Yeah.
but yeah. So, all right. So, what would be a fun company to start with for our strategy? And actually,
I don't know. I mean, people always like talking about, say, it's like toys or, and I hear athletic shoes a lot of times because it's super relatable and, you know, there's good examples of good and bad search terms for those. So,
all right.
what do you
So
think?
you said toys or athletic shoes?
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe we could go like one level. Well, we could start at the top and just do athletic shoes and
Sure.
see kind of like what comes of that. I'm going to start with trends because I think that it'll be a place for us to kind of like find a variety of things. So here, like on the main page, I haven't even like clicked through yet for like the search term, but there's actually like they'll have breakdowns. So they've got like a breakdown below here of, you know, men's athletic shoe, kids athletic shoes as being like topics. I'll go ahead and like open up let's do kids athletic shoes. Okay. And there's not a ton of data on kids athletic shoes. So let's go back and we'll just search the search term athletic shoes.
If the audience ever needed proof that we don't rehearse these things, I mean, they're getting it right now. So.
Yeah, it's very ad hoc. Very.
If we rehearsed this, we would have picked a winner right off the bat and been
I
like,
know.
"Oh, this is super organic. Look, I just anyway."
It's like the same, like people are like, well, how do you not like, you know, how do you not know exactly how, like they want to get so granular in the analysis. And I'm like, if I could like predict down to like the dollar, you know, how much an investment could be,
Yeah.
I would be like a freaking billionaire right now.
Oh yeah.
It's a lot. You got to just kind of stumble through and try and fail and learn and change things out. So yeah. Okay. So now this is like our first screen just for that athletic shoes search. It's showing interest over time. And this is based on, looks like the last year-ish worth of data.
Okay.
So you can kind of see like towards the holidays, you know, like people are probably searching a little bit more as like gifts for loved ones. But outside of that, maybe a little bit more stable, maybe going up like a little bit, looks like here in the spring. And then interestingly enough, lower during the summer search volumes.
Okay. And what's that metric? Is that just percent of the max or?
This says interest over time. I think this is search volume or search interests.
Oh, the peak popularity for the term. Yeah. So it's just percent of whatever the most was. Got it.
Yeah, it looks like it peaked back last August,
Mm-hmm.
and then again in like November, December time was probably right around the time of you know, Black Friday kind of
Yeah.
shopping and stuff like that.
Makes sense.
And then you can, I mean, depending on what, if you want to look at your country or different, like refined by different things like time frame,
Mm-hmm.
there's categories in here, so you could like put, you know, beauty and fitness. Let's see, as like, well, we don't want cosmetic procedures. Let's see if fitness. Yeah, see, refining it further is not necessarily going to benefit us at this point.
Yeah.
Let's go back one here. I just want to see athletic shoes. Okay. And then you can also look at, you know, web versus image versus shopping searches. But I think, you know, just for sake of this like category, let's go here. So you can also see like the interest by sub-region. So this is by state. I think you can change it to, yeah, you can change it to metro, which would be kind of like that DMA we were talking about before, or city. And this is a little bit interesting because it's kind of like Midwest moving into like the mountains and stuff. I'm not sure exactly what the rise in interest is there.
Maybe it's just outdoorsy states.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you've got related topics. Now, I would say an interesting idea for an SEO strategy would be, let's say like I have an athletic shoes company. So, and I sell maybe like boutique sports related athletic shoes. You can see like these related topics: cheerleading shoes, cleats, volleyball shoes, kids shoes. So these are like different topics that I could write about and create some like SEO content towards. So, you know, talk about volleyball shoes or best shoes for volleyball, best kids athletic shoes, best cheerleading shoes, things like that, to help support like my main, you know, target category of athletic shoes in general. And then these related queries, I'm going to just guess that Brooks Ghost 14. Oh yeah, I know the Ghost. I've heard of that. Like this is like a brand of shoe. It's like a special tune. I'm assuming Halara, Zero, Nike, you know, those kinds of things. And these could also be, you know, these are like breakout categories. If I click on this, it's going to, you see how it's like on the rise right now. as far as interests, meaning like, search volume. And then I can go even deeper. I can say, oh, the Brooks Ghost camo, or, these specific colors.
Yeah.
I mean, like, you can really go deep with it. But I think in general, what I'm looking to do is kind of see like maybe just compare a few different top keywords. So within our athletic shoe category, we could just let's try this: shoes for athletes and sporting, or how about running shoes. Give me like kind of another high level category that would kind of fall in the athletic shoes.
Cross trainers.
Is that like this?
Yeah.
Okay.
Ooh, flat line there. How about basketball shoes?
Spelled that wrong. Yeah, let's do, looks like shoes for athletes isn't even on there, so we'll go basketball shoes. Okay. All right. So now we're getting like some additional comparative data. And what I would say with this, and it's just kind of a rudimentary example, right? We're not athletic shoes experts, but if we wanted, if I owned a company that sold these types of products, I would want to know kind of in general, like which ones to prioritize.
Yeah.
So it looks to
And
me,
then seasonality. I mean, obviously, if you have a sport that is associated super hardcore with one season, as basketball is with winter being kind of the predominant indoor sport.
right?
I mean, you see that mountain you climb right there. If you're looking to get into the basketball shoe market, you can draw some conclusions from that. Hey, this is when people are going to start looking for them, and then start planning your ad campaigns out from that.
Yeah, totally. And here again, this is some interesting information as far as like how it trends. Look at how significantly it spikes during that holiday period for like several of these. It looks like basketball shoes, running shoes, tennis shoes. Those are our top three, types of shoes. Like spiking towards November. So this is not just an SEO and SEM strategy, but also a promotional strategy for like a company like that. Like, hey, you definitely need to take advantage of
People expecting to see shoe sales on Black Friday.
Yeah, it looks like even before. Like, I mean, look at like basketball shoes starts taking off in like beginning of October, and then these other ones.
That's when the teams start practicing.
There you go. See, and like so people like you that are already familiar with it because you play or your kids play, like you already know this stuff. So hopefully, those types of companies are planning on.
Yeah, but even personal experience, you can be hampered by that just as easily as you can be enabled by it. So even someone like me who's been through, I don't know, 10 different basketball seasons with my kids, I couldn't sit here and tell you, hey, the best time to start with your ads and putting in your search engine marketing is, September or August. It'd be a wild ass guess. I know it was sometime in the fall. But I definitely need something like this. Be like, okay, this makes sense with my lived experience, but now I know like this is when every parent and every kid is sitting down at their keyboard and saying, time to get a new set of kicks for the season.
Right.
So,
totally.
Yep.
Very cool. And I guess looking here too, looks like springtime, which kind of makes sense.
Yep.
But
so how much, I mean, this now kind of spurs the question, because at this point you've kind of got to be a linguistics expert almost, and the page is not going to, or the platform is not going to spell that out for you. But when you say tennis shoes, that could easily be tennis, the sport, or it could just be kind of the I guess connotative version. That's just, there are large portion of the country that just uses tennis shoes as a term for interchangeable with athletic shoes.
Right.
So you kind of have to look, if you're looking to get into the actual sport of tennis and that, that athletic line, you would have to now do what to parse out like who's looking for actual tennis shoes and who's just using that as a term for, they want a pair of walkers to go out on the street.
Yeah, no, I mean that's a good question. I think lots of experimentation. It may be certain like ways to phrase it, like best shoes for tennis players
Gotcha.
or something along those lines.
Yeah.
But you're still like, the way that Google groups different keywords and different like keyword match types within Google ads, like you'd have to be real careful. Because if you're exclusively marketing shoes for tennis players, and one of your keywords is shoes for tennis players, and you're using like a, say, a broad match keyword type, meaning, if it has the word tennis and shoes in it, you're going to get a lot of unqualified traffic in that instance. And that's like one of the, I think that's where like a marketer or an advertiser can sort of look at that objectively and say, okay, like we're going to need to be real specific in like our keyword targeting and our ad copy and our pages to like make that implication very clear.
Yeah. So you're saying the broader your match, the more you're going to kind of cast your pearls before swine. So it's, your ads targeted in this case specifically at tennis players are going to be shown to kind of people searching for random other stuff, and it's just going to fall by the wayside. It's going to be wasted money.
Yeah, I think you're going to spend a lot of money for maybe like it's not as precise of a targeting method.
Yeah.
But there are match types like exact match where you can actually get it down to like, no, they have to type literally like these 3 words in it. And you could probably incorporate things like I don't know, I'm not up on my tennis game, but I would say like Rafa Nadal tennis, or something where you're like using
Probably has his own shoe, I would imagine.
Yeah, and that's probably like a trademark name, so you wouldn't be able to advertise on it anyways. But those are some.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there's certain like trademarks, any registered trademark that has been submitted to Google, you can't actually advertise on.
Oh, okay, that's interesting.
Unless you own the brand and can prove it.
Yeah.
So interesting factoid. Okay, let me move.
So in that case, if somebody searched for an actual trademark keyword, would they only see search engine marketing for that company that owns the trademark?
It depends. Like a lot of things, and let's go ahead and do a couple sample searches.
Yeah.
We can just search athletic shoes. You're gonna see probably shopping ad results as well as the paid ad
Capital
results.
One. Okay.
Capital One.
OneRunning.com. Never heard of it. Brooks. Makes sense.
Yeah, Brooks.
Zappos.
Here's some local
pretty
stores.
Standard. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, let's just look at the real estate here. So if your only focus is on search engine optimization, organic search results, your product, like you might show up in the maps if you're like a local running store or something.
Yep.
And then if you've got like a good
and if you, the searcher, have your location turned on with whatever company's running the search engine.
Right. But then even like here, so you got ads here. So this is Dick's Sporting Goods, I guess, owns the they've got the best, most optimized term, or they're most optimized for athletic shoes right
now.
And then Zappos.
And that's a judgment of the site, right? Based on like Google goes in and says this is the best website.
Yeah.
And so there's a lot of site optimization that goes into that. It's not just having the right search keywords. It's not just having the biggest bid for the ad space. These organic search results are Google's judgment of what is the site that is optimized and best matched for that search term.
Yeah, the site. And I mean, they're also, another ranking factor beyond just like the content and the speed and the interactivity of the page is, like, I mean, external links can play into it. Obviously Dick's Sporting Goods is like a really well-established company. I'm sure that their Google has like clearly identified them and Zappos and some others as like being,
Yeah.
and I'm
I
sure
mean,
you
my
think about,
family and I have definitely bought plenty of things from Dick's
yeah.
website, and it's a great website. So
But have you bought athletic shoes from Dick's? Is the
I
question.
have not personally because they don't carry the brands I use, but I'm
Yeah.
sure that the family has done that. But I mean, you can't go wrong with it as far as the store and the website, and they pay me nothing. But not a sponsor of the show, but we wouldn't mind if they were. But yeah, just the having used the website, you can understand why it's the top search result because they're just, if you want anything in sporting goods and maybe you want 5 different things for a couple different sports, that's where you go, either physical location or website. They've just kind of got something for everything. If you're super specialized, I'm a lifelong runner, so I don't get my running shoes from them because I don't have my brand.
Yep.
But yeah, if you want a place to start, that's a good place to start.
Yeah. Now, I would also say, like, in general, most people are probably not just searching athletic shoes. They're going to
Yeah.
search it with a lot more qualifiers. Like, for like, I'm also a runner, so I would probably type in like, um, and I also I've gone to like a specialty run shop to get my shoes for like the last 10 years.
Yep.
But if I was just like looking on the internet for something, I might do like best um
Running shoes for millennials.
size 10 running shoes, something along these lines. And then you can see like these are the shopping ads results, which have been, these are
Yep.
Google shopping results. Then you've got Brooks. So Brooks running is definitely, I mean, because they also showed up for athletic shoes, I think, when we were searching for it.
Yep.
And then you can see some other folks here. And then it looks like Runner's World has got, their list of the best running shoes of 2020.
Yeah.
So it's like maybe another sort of topic idea, keyword idea, something along those lines. But yeah, I mean, so really, like, looking at the search volume, depending on like what kind of company, let's just say like you sell a variety of athletic shoes. Well, you're probably going to have basketball shoes, running shoes, cross trainers, and then you would use maybe tennis shoes as like a target term as well.
Yeah.
But you probably want to prioritize running shoes, basketball shoes, and tennis shoes as target terms because those have significantly higher search volume than these other categories. Now, if we wanted to take that same concept and come over into the keyword planner, what this is going to do is athletic shoes, running shoes. What else is it? Tennis shoes, basketball.
And so for the people that are watching this show that maybe don't, are just kind of learning about this stuff, obviously for a small business, this is scaled down, but I don't think many people understand that this is the primary profit driver for Google. Like when you think of big tech, big Google, all of their many products and services that they provide and all that stuff, I think the last estimate I heard was like 75% of their profit comes from search engine marketing. And so that is their kind of claim to fame. And that's what drives a lot of the divisions of Google actually lose money, and they're fine with it because they just generate so many billions from everybody paying them money to get hits on those search results. And not only do they get paid that big chunk of change to get highly placed on the search results, but then Google is nice enough to say, oh, and also we'll give you this free advice on how to search engine optimize and optimize your website. If you pay us a little more, you get a little bit better advice.
Right.
But that is huge business for these search engines, and obviously to a much lesser extent being Yahoo and probably YouTube. But to a much smaller extent, you're still talking like hundreds of millions and potentially billions of dollars, certainly billions with regard to Google. It gets like 80% of the market share when it comes to search engine marketing. But yeah, this is huge, and it's I mean, this is something when you talk about like a driver of wealth and GDP writ large, this is massive.
Oh yeah, I mean it's a huge portion of their revenue, and I think that it's also I did read, or I was listening to something recently that said like just in the last like 3 years, the cost for ads has gone up. It has increased by more than double what it used to be. So it
Wow.
used to be
Okay.
you pay like $1 a click. Now you're going to pay $2-3 a click for the same terms. Um, all right, I need to just make a little list here because I keep going back and forth. So
We get
athletic.
on tangents, man. Squirrels, like shiny things fly by. We get distracted easily.
All right, athletic shoes. I don't need a cap.
Don't go athletic hose. That's gonna
Athletic
overflip it, I
hose. Yeah,
think.
that'll be an interesting search result. um, running
Probably shouldn't show
shoes.
that on the video.
No. Oh, we get like yeah, some kind of like shadow ban or something.
Yeah.
Basketball shoes, tennis shoes, cross trainers. Okay. All right. So we're gonna call these our seed keywords.
Okay.
And because this is just example, so like for like most of our clients, we would probably start with more like between like 20 and 50 seed keywords,
All right.
and then we would like expound on those based on like results that we would get from the keyword planner.
I mean, is there
So
some sort of magic number, or is it just kind of how much bandwidth and
yeah, how much
do you
time, I
have,
mean,
and what do you want them to pay for?
right, magic
Yeah.
number is like 100,000 different keywords to
Yeah.
see which short tail and
Capture
long
that long
tail.
tail.
Yeah, exactly. um All right, so this is actually I'm going to go back to this to the other keyword plan because I think that this one doesn't show as much information, but you could just like kind of see at a high level for the keywords that we've selected, average monthly searches. There's quite a bit. I mean, it looks like
Yep.
pretty similar to what we saw over here. You know, basketball shoes has 450,000 just in the last. This is based on the last year.
Mm-hmm.
Athletic shoes, not so much. Cross trainers, not so much. Running shoes is significant, and tennis shoes is actually a little bit lower. So it looks like tennis or basketball shoes is actually the larger
Yeah.
breakout category. And over here, I don't know that I believe this. I want to kind of like verify because so the top of page bid low is, well, you can read it if you want, but sort of like the historical, if you wanted to be at the top of Google, because with Google Ads, you're bidding for top placement or the highest placement that you can stand. So saying like 85 cents would be like a lower range of the top bid for the keywords. So like think about
Yeah.
a lower range being like maybe a smaller, like a smaller city where there's maybe not as much competition versus like a national campaign. You might be bidding $3 to like $5 a click
Okay.
for some of these terms. But again, I think this is like grossly undervalued. Like I'll bet you that let's go back. I want to try something else and see if we can get some results here. See if it go if it changes things a little bit. I mean, it's still showing that for those terms, but okay. And so I think I see part of the reason why it's maybe not so
And
impressive.
that's price per click, or
Yeah, so this is the like
okay.
bid range. So you're bidding. So if you were to like bid 350 a click, um, you would be towards the top of Google search
Yeah.
results if somebody searches athletic shoes. So here's like, this is our seed keywords. And then the keyword ideas down below is going to give you terms that probably still have like a lot of search volume, but are more relevant. So Adidas Ultra Boost, I think that was maybe one of the ones we saw in the Google Trends
Yeah.
breakout category. You can see the costs for that term is $12 a click for the
Wow.
top of page high range. Then you got like Vapor Max, Nike running shoes, Brooks. So a lot of these are like a little bit, they're kind of mid-range keywords. It's not
Yeah.
like size 10 Adidas Ultra Boost, tennis shoes. It's Adidas Ultra Boost is like the mid-range term. But you could, if you wanted to spend less than $12, you could put in, size 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, all the way up to 20 or something like that, or add like men's or women's or children's or
Yeah.
something along those lines
So it's
to
going to get shown in less searches because
right.
the keyword is more specific.
Yep.
So you pay less.
So you pay less. Yep.
Okay.
But there's less search volume. It can be extremely beneficial, especially if you own an athletic shoes store that's mostly running shoes, and you don't sell any like basketball shoes per se, then you're going to get kind of a lot more specific on different running shoes. You're going to use the brands probably of those running shoes. You're probably also going to want to feed your products out to Google Shopping, because me personally, like if I see something like this, I've got a photo, I've got a price,
Yeah.
I can see it's free shipping. I can see they've got good reviews. I can see they have return
You can
policy. Like,
compare prices across to
yeah,
a
I mean, it's
handful of other. Yeah.
like a lot of beneficial information. So I'm a lot more likely to buy when I click on this ad. So as a
Yeah.
advertiser, you're really, I mean, like here and like, Amazon, again, like when you're looking at products, like there's a few marketplaces where you can really dominate, Google Shopping, Amazon, assuming that, you can work out a deal with Amazon. They do charge a lot for all their stuff, but
Really?
like they take a pretty decent commission on pretty much anything that's sold through the marketplace. But yeah, so I mean, great strategy would be to have that product and those target terms, and then you can see too down here, this is where like those ads, like let's just do another test and make somebody pay for this. Let's do Adidas Ultra Boost. See how it's got the predictive like women, men's.
Yeah. Gotcha.
21, 22 DNA uncaged. So if we just do the general term, okay, so Adidas is advertising. I mean, they're advertising all the top listings here, and then Adidas here. So if I click on this, Adidas is going to pay $12 to Google. Adidas just paid $12 to Google. Sorry, Adidas, I'm not going to buy your shoes. But let's like take a quick look at this page. So Ultra Boost running shoes, that's pretty relevant. And then you can see this looks like women's here, but you can refine your search to men's. Oh, they already got me with a discount. Not going to sign up. This doesn't look like men's down here. Their refinement's not working all that great.
Yeah.
But you can kind of see, and then here's like those like kind of more granular searches. You can really like it's pretty quick on finding the products that I'm looking for, except this one is has no image. But that's the idea, is like that's kind of what took place there. They paid somewhere between like $1.40 and 12 or 13 bucks for that click. But you'd want to kind of expand on this, and there's probably hundreds, if not thousands, of potential keywords down in here. You wouldn't necessarily need to search through all those to like find the ones that you'd want to target. I think you can see some pretty clear patterns, like brand name, and then the type of shoe. So like Nike Kicks, Nike Kiri, Zoom X. Like you want to just make sure you incorporate, the product titles with some details in there. And then some people, you might go as far as like actually putting like the size, because I know people would search that and it might cost you a little bit less.
Yeah.
Here's some Yeezys. So all that stuff, it kind of like spills into the keyword strategy. Now, separately. So you could take this and like within Google, you can, you can broaden your search. So you can actually include like athletic footwear, and you can keep adding more keywords to try and get, down to a, or get to a broader list. I think we probably have enough where we could take, a general strategy to a company and say, well, we did some sample searches, and you definitely need to be in the product ads on Google. And if you want to pay for that top spot for Adidas Ultra Boost, it's going to cost you $12. And then we would calculate like a conversion rate, or we'd kind of figure out what their existing conversion rate is. Say it's like 3% or 5%, and you can back into those numbers. You can say, if if 100 people click on a $12 cost per click ad, and of those people, so that's $1,200 I've just paid, and of that 100 people, only 5 purchased, and the average sale of the Ultra Boost is $180. 180 times 5. Is that right? Did I say 5%?
Mm-hmm.
That's $900. So I've completely lost
5
money.
people, yeah.
Yeah. So if
out of
it's
100, yep.
Yeah. So I'm really like I've completely lost money. I didn't even like.
So you make a recommendation based off of calculating. Okay, you're going to make $900 to get 100 people. They don't have to bid $12. They can bid whatever they like. But that range shows them what's going to make them competitive to actually get shown.
Yes, exactly. And the benefit of like a lower cost strategy, I mean, really a lot of the cost strategies that we see now are more like optimized around conversion or target return on ad spend. If it's like a shopping ad. So like, for target return on ad spend, let's say we want like a 3-to-1 return, then our target return on ad spend is 300%. Or we'll put in like a specific dollar value that can be fed back into Google. And then that way, the products will be shown, but like maybe not, maybe Adidas, like enough people click on Adidas for the day, and then at like 9 p.m. Adidas has spent up their full budget for the Ultra Boost for that day. Well, from 9 to 12, Ryan and Al's athletic shoe store is paying $6
Sneaks
a click.
In there. Yep.
Yeah, $6 a click, and and we can prove out an ROI that makes sense, a return on spend that makes sense.
Yeah.
But the other thing is like, there's loss leader strategies. It's like, well, I'm okay losing a little bit, or maybe just breaking even a little bit, because then I have that customer and I can sell them shoes for the next 20 years. Kind of like you and I, like I buy the same brand shoe every 6 months.
Me too.
Nice.
I don't go every 6 months, but
yeah, I need to. I'm due for my next round. I've like chewed through it. The tread is like gone, and it's probably not good for my ankles. All right. So, all right. So we kind of covered through this. So like, the benefit to going this route. Let me just click this so that it poses. So you can actually take this and like stick it right. Like you can create like a plan, and you can actually stick it right into a Google Ads campaign. I wouldn't necessarily recommend doing that. I would probably recommend just like exporting this, like downloading the keywords into, I'll put it in Google Sheets, and then just say Ryan L athletic shoes keywords.
And so this, like right from here, you would go in and start picking. I'll take these 10 keywords at this maximum bid, and start and go through, like present your budget to Google and say, for this X time frame. Like, is that how it works?
Yeah. So you would need to, within Google, you would create a campaign where you would set certain parameters, like you want to target, shoppers in the US.
Okay, so you got to go through Campaign Manager from here to, this is just the research portion.
Yeah,
so,
like
you don't buy it through Google Ads.
Yeah. So you can save out a list and then you can like apply it to a campaign.
Got it.
But I would recommend like going a different route. Let me see if I can. Where did that save? Let me just go into the CSV. I don't know how big this thing's going to be. Pairing report. So yeah, we will. I'll try and show like kind of what we would typically do. Oh, you can also see some comparisons between total search and mobile specific.
Okay.
Interestingly enough, I mean, mobile specific is a huge percentage of search. So this little gap is just what 3 million ish 3 point
Yeah.
million.
Oh, well, that's, I mean,
That's like
the
desktop and everything
manifestations of
else.
that are just mind boggling. The kind of that rapid transition where, you know, just a few years ago, the vast majority of internet activity was desktop.
Right.
And it's just in a handful of years, it's gotten to the point where damn near everybody's got a smartphone and that's their default, to the point where people are like phone, tablet, I don't even need a laptop. And
Yeah.
so, yeah, with the Internet of Things and smart TVs and you know, the home hub and all of that, you know, laptops are becoming, you know, let alone desktops, not even a thing anymore. But yeah, laptops becoming less and less common.
Yeah. It's crazy.
You know,
I
to
mean,
guys like us, sure.
yeah, but I guess I do. I mean,
My kids, they don't care.
I do a lot more searching on my phone these days.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, and
you
it's there
see,
for like the line of sight, you know, for those of us that are easily distracted and just have a thirst for knowledge at 2 in the morning, or when we're, you know, waiting for a plane or something like that, sitting in the dentist's office and you're like, hey, how much money did Avatar make? And you know, you pull out the phone and look it up. It's easy.
yeah. Oh God, I got the spinning wheel of death. Um,
Okay.
I hope this doesn't like break my browser. I got too much stuff open, as you can see. But anyway, so we
I
would
mean, for
take.
a Mac, you do.
I do, yeah. I guess for a PC, I could make some changes. Um, well, while this is figuring out its life, so what we would probably do from here is we would want to like refine, get it down to like either like 100 top terms, or start to work in like some of like we had talked about earlier, like the broad match or exact
Okay.
match terms, where like maybe we want to do like pairings with like Adidas and Boost and Nike and shoes or something along those lines, and then you can have like broader search terms, but still like get the click volume. And then when people start clicking on those ads from their searches, you use data that you gather in Google Analytics and the Google Ads search terms report. There's a difference between your target keyword and the actual search term. And so you can feed the search terms into your Google Ads campaigns, the higher performing ones, as like an exact match. Oh gosh, exit page, exit page. Okay, we're not going to mess with that right now. All right, so I would probably like refine this. Let me just take a smaller sample size of say like these top ones here. There's like so much information in there. And then go click on keyword planning. There we go. All right. So then you can just filter this top row. And then I might just sort by the highest to lowest search terms. And as an example, and then maybe I only want my highest top of page bid to be is less than or equal to, let's say like $3. Okay. So now of like the full list, I can now see like we got 450,000 people searching basketball shoes, and you got like Nike running shoes, and you can see where the top of page bids are for those, and then you can kind of like narrow your search results a little bit from there. LeBron shoes, like maybe that's a good search term because it looks like it's only $1.10 a click for top of page, but it has like 90,000 average monthly searches. um it has high competition, meaning other people are bidding for that term, but still. So we would kind of go through that process of iterating and making decisions around there. um okay, so now let's do TubeBuddy, because I think we've like thoroughly exhausted the Google keyword planner thing for right now. And just do some sample searches again. So let's stick with what was our top trending? Running shoes. So let's do like best running shoes 2022 as an example. And see, you can already see it's doing some predicting here.
Yeah.
So what TubeBuddy is going to do is it's going to show you a few different rating scales. So the first one under the score analysis is search volume. So you could see, and based on essentially like the average of these different things, it's going to tell you like kind of like if it's a good topic to write about.
Gotcha.
And then they've got like breakout topics here: best running shoes 2020 men, Nike women, stuff like that. But in this case, it like looks okay. I probably wouldn't write this specific thing because the score is just good. Like, but think about this. Like, I've several of my of our for the data driven demand generation channel for like the topics, several of those I just used this tool and I was just like going through and typing different topic ideas and exploring till I got around to one. So this one has good search volume, a fair amount of competition, and the optimization strength is pretty high, meaning there's like not a ton of videos necessarily that have like this title or these target terms. But let's like just refine it further to men's.
So optimization strength is almost like uniqueness. It's like, is this well trodden ground? Do you have a ton of competition
right
for attention in this space?
Yep. So just by adding the word men's, we're making it a longer tailed keyword, but by adding the word men's, our overall score went to excellent. There's still a lot of search volume. There's not as much competition, and the optimization strength is really high. Now you can actually see, you know what? I used to have this, but you actually see like what, oh no, yeah, results. That's what it is. Here you go. So the search results for this search term is top.
That's what would come up if you were in YouTube and just searched for that.
Yep, exactly. So if I'm like again, back to our local athletic shoes company owner, let's say like one of my guys on the floor is like a running shoe. He's an avid runner. He, runs marathons and stuff like that. Well, he's going to put together a video that is like of the top 5 best men's running shoes in 2022. And then that becomes the title, best men's running shoes 2022. And you could see, I mean, there's a fair amount of people that are like writing about this. For some reason, none of them are doing men's shoes, which I would think is maybe missing the mark, because you could do men's and women's, and that's probably a more relevant search because most men and women are going to search for a man or a woman's shoes because they need to know which ones fit them the best.
Yeah,
their gait, things like that. So yeah, so there's that's an example of like a topic that you could create a video on. And then, I mean, I would probably say like write a blog post, like embed your YouTube video in that blog post and write, about those top 5 shoes. And then within that blog post and within your YouTube description, include links to the product pages for the top 5 best men's running shoes that you just reviewed. And so you're sort of like creating general keyword strategy based on, you know, search volume, competition, and taking people to a relevant page where they're more likely to convert.
Okay, so this is a tool that's usable both for content creators and for marketers, because I mean, there's people out there, you know, if Nike is putting video ads on YouTube for those kind of spliced in or before video or after video things, I'm guessing that goes through this a similar bid process as Google search results. So when if you're a marketer and you're trying to figure out where to put your ads, that top video that comes up, that is there a process where you then bid on what video you want to be shown on?
Yeah, I mean, you could do that as an advertising strategy. I think my thought with this is a little bit more organic
To
based,
do, do organic content for your own stuff.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
but to the same degree, like, I mean, you're right. Like, if we want to do best men's running shoes in 2022, and somebody searches that in YouTube, and because you can advertise on those terms
Yep.
within, you know, Google Ads or other video ad platforms, and so you could sort of prioritize your ad on the YouTube search results page, you know, as opposed to something else. I recently did, I was looking back at like an example. I just want to use an example from my channel because there is
What is up, Data Nation? How you doing today?
Sorry,
that guy.
everybody lands on this on the channel here.
He looks so young.
Oh, he looks so not.
Just a
It's
year
not
ago.
like clearly didn't have
Didn't
a
have
child
kids.
yet.
Yeah.
The fading.
Oh, young Ryan, if you only knew what was ahead of you.
If you only knew. So how to track leads in Google Analytics was one of those that I did a test search for. And so, like, if I just open a incognito window here and go to YouTube, because it's not now, there's nobody signed in or anything.
You don't have a burner account to, like, you know, prop up your likes and views and whatnot?
I have like several YouTube channels and stuff like that, but I don't. I'm not that creative. Remember, like when we were talking at the beginning, like preparedness and creative, and you know I'm just not there.
That's something super time intensive too. Like who has time for that? Let me log out of this account, log into this one, tell myself how great I am. Yeah.
Well, you know, it is kind of easy. You can toggle. So
even so, you're already doubling the amount of time you spend on the platform.
Yes.
I know people that do it on YouTube, and you know, I suppose buying followers is a slightly different thing, but yeah, that just seems like a whole lot of work. I know running an organizational page and a personal LinkedIn page at the same time is tough enough. So
yeah.
Anyway.
So yeah, so in this example, I'm going to click this. I hope it works because yeah. So here's somebody who's paying for an ad that's like related to probably tracking leads and analytics or something like that. But like this video is listed at the top, and this was intentional. Like I was like, I want to tell people I wanted to essentially talk about like goal completions in Google Analytics. And so I was like typing different things, and I was like, well, what if we like broadened it out a little bit, you know, because people don't necessarily know what a goal completion is. They're just trying to track their leads. They're trying to track customers or things like that. Leads. And so I was typing different ideas, and that one came up, and I think, I don't know, I could probably look at it again in here and see what the optimization score is, but Google Analytics. And I think the optimization score was, so the optimization score was good. The search volume is a little bit lower, but there's a fair amount of competition, and the optimization potential strength is good. And so that's where, like, I mean, I get, you know, quite a few views. We get quite a few views for that specific video in a given month. And that's just, you know, like one example. I think we could expound on that for like hundreds of different topics.
It's surprising. I don't know like what constitutes a high or low search volume, but that surprises me, just the fact that, I mean, this is kind of mandatory knowledge for a small business owner. If you're doing anything digital, you know, GA is is mandatory. And I don't feel like there's a ton of good knowledge out there on how to use it. I understand, as we talked about last week, the system, the platform is fairly intuitive. It walks you through, but it seems like that there should be a lot of people trying to figure out, hey, what are the shortcuts? How do I get ahead with this? Because, if you're all depending on Google to explain to you how to use their platform, and all of your competitors are doing the same thing, people would probably want to kind of get the answers to the test.
Yeah, totally. I agree.
So more people should watch our videos. Dang it.
More people should watch our videos. Absolutely. Well, and we're going to need to do that one needs to be updated because that's the old UA version of tracking leads. So
look at that. We're
I'll have
already
to do a 2022 and beyond tracking leads in GA4 video. That'll be another tactical one we'll incorporate. Well, that was fun. I think there's we could totally go on and on about this, but we've already been chatting about it for quite some time. So I think let's tee up next week's or not necessarily next week, but kind of this idea we were kicking around earlier. So you have an idea for a potential business we can create, some kind of online entity we can build out and use a data-driven approach to build it out.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm kind of Mr. LinkedIn, and not really. I mean, I can name 100 people that are way better at it than I am, but just amongst my circle of friends. And so, I have kind of a following on there that I just toss tips and tricks out now and again. And, I have the 30-day challenge. And I've had requests fairly consistently to write an ebook or to do more than the 30-day challenges. That there's essentially 13 rules you have to follow, 10 for creating content, and then 3 for engaging and networking. I tried to keep it as simple as possible. When I originally put it together, it was just to have a 1-page cheat sheet that I could hand to people that were bothering me to give them the secrets of LinkedIn. So it's super simple. It's kind of made to be digestible for the masses. I've learned over the almost 2 years that I've been using LinkedIn daily, I've learned 1,000 lessons that aren't encapsulated in 13 rules. And so I was been thinking about this lately, just off the top of my head. I could definitely write a pretty decent length ebook of enduring knowledge that people have already told me they would pay for. And that wouldn't be, I'm not writing a great American novel. I mean, we're talking, 30, 40 pages, something that's digestible and comprehensible for the single LinkedIn user, not necessarily B2B or a big business that's looking to brand, but individual people, small business owners, the personal LinkedIn profile, maybe a small company page, groups, that sort of thing, and just some, kind of the next 30 or 40 tips and tricks beyond the 10 basic principles and 3 engagement strategies that I've already put out there. So, like I said, I think for us, it's fairly labor unintensive. And it's not something where we have to provide a consistent service, because that was my concern was, hey, this is a fun exercise for us to build a smallish business, make a little money, see and demonstrate, how we can implement these strategies that we talk about. We don't want to be kind of, backing ourselves into a corner where we're providing labor intensive or time intensive services to people as the product. We want to have a kind of off the shelf, you paid your $19.99 and here you go. And then that you can kind of keep cranking on it. So that's my idea.
I love the simplicity of it too. It's basically like a single ebook or some kind of, purchasable document or I don't know where exactly you'd want to put it. Like what kind of format you'd want to do. Like I've bought 40-page books off of Amazon that were
Yep.
just self-published books, and then I've also bought like downloadable PDFs and stuff off of like one-off websites too. So well, let's save the strategy component for next time.
Yeah.
But I like that. Okay. So let's kick around that, and we can either start with that next week, or we can I know there's a few other topics, but I think that would be a fun one to kind of do. We could kind of do like a mini series on from concept through to completion, and then
then
promoting
platforms and how they relate, just the dumb guy questions I was asking today. We can demonstrate, hey, what is the relationship between ads, analytics, and campaign manager, and show it in real time, how it affects us.
Yeah. Awesome.
Yep. Love it.
Cool, man.
And then you're not revealing the secrets of your fungi marketing customers, so they get mad at you.
Yeah, they're fine.
Or having to black out 75% of the screen.
I know hopefully, yeah, let's do with our own data. That way I don't have to like today was easy because there's no proprietary information in there. I feel better about that.
This will be like dealing that first hand of the card game, face up, so you can teach somebody like, here you go, here's how you do it. So,
exactly. Yeah. Get started.
We don't have any shareholders. We don't have to keep secrets from anyone.
Right. Yet.
True.
Cool, man. All right. Sounds good. I think that's a wrap.
All right, brother. Best show yet.
Yeah, man. All right. I'll talk to you soon. Have a good one.
See you. You too.